You know what? We're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Money gone, fuck friends. I need a homie that know me when all these motherfucking cops be on me. I got problems, ain't nobody calling back. Now what the fuck is happening with my ball and cat? Remember me, I'm your homie that was down the broad, sipping Hennessy, hanging with the clowns and all. We used to do was drink, brew, screw, and come and knew we had bitches by the dozens. Oh, we fucking cousins, you can throw your middle finger if you feel me low. A nigga just got paid and we still was broke. It took time, but finally the cash was mine. All the rewards of a hustler stuck in the ground. Look around, and all I see is snakes and paste, just like scavengers waiting to take a hustler's pace. And when you stuck, where the fuck is all your friends? They straight busted, can't be trusted. Fuck y'all.
I told you, right? I told you, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me.
Fuck all y'all.
Right, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. Look at you now.
Fuck all y'all.
I told you, right? I told you, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me.
Fuck all y'all.
Right, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. Look at you now.
I'm sipping Tangeray and juicing once the use, cause I'm a hopeless thug. Ain't no love, reminiscing on how close we were way back in the day, before they put the crack in the wake. Hey, how much money can you stack in the deck? It's getting rough, collect calls for my niggas and guts. I recollect we used to ball, now just living's enough. I stand tall in the winter, summer, spring, and fall. Love for life, sprawled all across the wall and all. About my dollars, make me wanna holler. Drop an album, sell a million, give a fuck about tomorrow. I know it's getting crazy after dark, these bars. Keep on up in the bumping, ain't no fear in my heart. What's going on in the ghetto? Still struggling, strive. I still roll with the heater, smoking chocolate top. In 94, I'll be going solo. Too many problems of my own, so I'm rolling dolo. Fuck all y'all.
I told you, man. I told you, don't fuck with me.
That's
Don't
right.
fuck with me.
Fuck all y'all.
Right, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. Look at you now.
Fuck all y'all.
I told you, man. I told you, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me.
Fuck all y'all.
Right, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. Look at you now.
I went from rags to riches, quick to socializing with the baddest bitches. Went from a bucket to a rag with switches. I'm seeing death around the corner. I'm pumping Doria, doing 90 cause I wanna. I'm getting high like I said it was some chocolate time. Is this some Indonesia? Watch me fry, and even though I know the guts behind.
Jesus, right in the middle of the action. Perfect timing. What's going on, everybody? This is Fight Guys. I am the MMA bet surgeon with Lieutenant Dan, as per usual. Let me just swap us around over here. He's got his name on the title card. This week's been an absolute clusterfuck for me, as far as we had planned to have this absolutely pretty much ironed out to a T for UFC 264. It was one of those first cards we hit, and we hit it beautifully. We had a beautiful viewer count. All the videos did well. It's a big card. It brings a lot of people out. Of course, we would want to love to get the breakdown and stuff like that out earlier. Oh, yeah. Didn't have internet the entire week. My internet's been out. My internet line's practically been cut and been severed, and it has to be fixed tomorrow morning. So we're hoping that gets fixed, and I can do the stream and stuff like that, the live stream and all that kind of good stuff from the house. But as far as now goes, we're just doing it from a different location, and it should be fine. I think the internet is, from my end, working great so far. It hasn't had a problem on StreamYard yet, so should be pretty good. Maybe it might have some rough patches, but all said and done, we're kind of just gonna, instead of last week, because we didn't have much go on as far as fights, there were none. There wasn't even really any other organizations fighting, other than like I watched one organization, XNFC, I think, or something. One of those organizations.
There's like some CFFC.
That's
or
what I watched.
Like
That's
LFA.
what I watched. I watched
There's
the
the first one of like the CFFC grappling. I don't think I really watched anything last weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, they had the grappling on the Friday. That's why I was confused. They had the CFFC grappling on the Friday, and then the Saturday was the actual event, and that's what confused me originally. So pretty much that's it. As far as everything else goes, we're kind of going to just roll through. And like I said, no internet this week. We don't even have photos as far as for the fights go, but I have the notes written down. We got our notes. We're going to give you our picks. We're going to go through this entire fight card at UFC 264. And just try and work our way through it as best as possible. We appreciate everybody for coming out on short notice. I know it is a little bit later even than usual, even though we have been on that 9 o'clock schedule on the Thursdays. I know it is already like 9:41 now. So we're gonna kind of go through. We're gonna kind of just Let me just close.
Yeah,
that
because
for a
really,
second.
it really isn't much as far as
No.
news wise is all. Nothing really to follow up on as far as any of those fights. I guess the only kind of big thing was that there was the thing with like the New York or the Nevada commission finally making it not an offense to have like marijuana in your system when you're fighting.
Yep.
So that's obviously huge. It doesn't nothing retroactive, but going forward, I don't know. Yeah, nothing. Other than that, I guess there's kind of Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz has been pretty much alluded to for September, which would be an awesome fight.
Crazy.
Obviously, that happened previously. I don't know how many. Probably over a decade ago, easily, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, hell of a one to run back. Like Kevin Holland has a fight in October against Kyle Dawkins, so that's interesting. Obviously, a huge contrast from like the top, like upper echelon of the division that he's kind of been fighting previously.
Honestly, though, like when me and you talked about Kevin Holland losing in the beginning and all that kind of stuff, can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't even see myself on the screen. It's fucking.
I can hear you fine. You sound, or maybe it's.
Am I black on you? Am I black on your screen? Like completely black? Or am I good?
No, you seem fine to me.
Okay, it's definitely just on my end here. But yeah, like I think even like the last time this kind of talks about when we were kind of referencing what Kevin Holland needed to do as far as next steps. He's proven me wrong in a lot of these different areas as far as now fighting lower level competition and like actually understanding that he needs to work on things, because he was one of these guys that was fast tracked, was making good money.
It's him and the UFC both realizing it.
True.
Like,
you're right. No, you're right.
We can't just turn this guy into a non-asset. Like he is we can't just like stack some losses onto him and really stack, like, because obviously if you'll let him, I think he'd continue to take those top fights on short notice if you really just let him do it and kept paying him to do it.
Oh yeah,
he'll say fuck yeah, but is it good for him in the long run? No, but yeah, it's definitely a combo, I think.
Agreed. So let's start. I guess we'll start working our way through some of these fights.
Well, I was just gonna say a couple of other things.
Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Not like just to brush over.
No
quickly.
rush.
Hardly a news segment. Ludovic Klein versus Nate Landwehr, which is an absolute banger.
That's a great
for
fight.
October 16th.
That's a great fight.
Mark DeCasey versus Rafael Alves.
Yep.
September 4th. It's pretty decent.
There has been some really good announcements in the last 2-3 weeks, which is good to hear, right? We know that they're not just stacking it for these early.
Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Gaetano Perillo. Pretty decent. With Jay Honderos out, who I don't even know who that is, maybe a debut. Ryan Benoit is now fighting Zaruk Adashev.
Oh, really?
At the end of the month, July 31st. That's actually a pretty interesting fight. That becomes
maybe a better fight than maybe a
better
definitely
fight. A better fight. It's a harder
before.
Fight probably for Adashev. I don't really know who Honderos is, but I thought it was probably just a guy making his debut that they were probably,
I believe,
feeding to Adashev. But Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze, which is going to be an absolute banger. That's going to be.
I love that shit.
3 rounds of violence.
That's awesome to me.
Great
That's
matchup.
so awesome to me, man. You get those two guys in there. You get Edson Barboza, Giga Chikadze, one of my favorites in Giga. Like we all know
Barboza coming off that massive knockout against Shane Burgos.
Awesome. It's like awesome, man. It's awesome. Two guys that really can.
I remember that fight too is because I fucking had picked the 3rd round finish for Barboza and I forgot to bet it too. And he had that crazy delayed knockout.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Never seen that before. It's crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah, man. That'll be a great fight and obviously massive opportunity for Giga. Easily his biggest fight yet.
Oh, man. Gigabyte. I'm ready for him. I'm ready for him to have it. I'm ready for it, man. This is it, though. We called for it after his last
it's definitely not easy, though. It's obviously
Edson's
shown that he can still run with some of these young cats.
Oh, if he puts a stamp on Edson, it's gonna be. I'm ready. I'm ready to see lots of kind of some different things.
If he puts the stamp on it, yeah. If he goes out there, yeah, and like because it's just gonna be a kicking fest, guys. It's gonna be.
That's what I mean. Two of the guys who arguably know how to use their legs in the UFC as weapons the best.
a great fight, 115 pounds, the women's fight, Amanda Ribas versus Verna Jandiroba,
Yep, I'll take it.
October 30th.
That's a spicy fight. That'll like see
I think
that's even a
Ribas
fight
should be
that I'll watch.
Ribas, but Verna's hands looks a bit better in the last fight.
It's a matter of
Dicey.
it's definitely a matter of actually probably who comes out and looks better on the night and who makes adjustments during that fight. Really,
This one's tough.
close.
Askarov is out of the fight against Alex Perez on July 31st.
okay.
And then Perez is now booked against Matt Schnell, August 20th.
What do they have Askar out with?
It just says injury.
Okay, man, so nice they named him twice.
Well, it's Askar.
Whatever, I got a bunch of them.
Andre Arlovsky versus Carlos Philippe, August 16th. That'll probably be one that fucking Arlovsky wins, still, Pitbull. Scrape that one out.
He could. It's Carlos Philippe's just the guy he gets in there because Carlos Philippe goes, yeah, not this.
And then he'll just
But
be
it's like,
sitting there.
fuck, though.
He'll be trained with him, putting his hands up. And
No, he'll
shrugging
just
his-
get tired. He'll just get tired, and Arlovsky he'll just bait him into the Arlovsky game where Arlovsky can just fucking run around snag the last 2 rounds and eke out like a split decision or like a fucking or it goes the other way where of course Philippe just says, "Well, I know for an absolute fact he can't take my power anymore, and once I hit him one time hard across the chin, he's gonna turn like he has against other opponents in the past and look to find a way out, which is either him going to the ground, falling to the ground and getting knocked out, or getting choked out, or probably knocked out." But
yeah. Definitely can't get this.
that's a good fight, though. We always love seeing Papa Arlovsky fight, always.
Getting
And he
paid-
hasn't really
getting
fucked our
paid the
parlays
best.
yet. He hasn't really fucked our parlays in a while, so.
But he's also like, you got to think that guy fucking probably just rakes it in, and like, considering how much he probably has a pretty decent contract by year, he probably easily rakes in like probably over $1.5 million fucking in showing money. I think because he
You think
fights
so?
like 3 at a year. I think. I think based on, like I think he probably does not in a fight. I'm saying I think over probably like his 3 fights that he usually does like per year,
Yeah.
pretty regularly. I think he probably easily makes over $1 million just to show.
I think
That-
you're No, I think
yeah,
you're.
I
I think
almost
you're more
guarantee
around
it.
the 750 range with a guy like Arlovsky, probably 250, 200, 200
Fight to show.
a fight to show, yeah.
I wish it was more.
Or it's probably I don't even know. I think it is around 200, 250, something like that. But yeah, let's get on from any other news you got?
The last one was that kind of officially Cody Garbrandt, according to Abdullah Sleaze, he's officially moving down to flyweight for his next fight.
Okay.
And then Ali followed up with the fight, said he has the fight already. Mick Maynard will announce it.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so that they're probably not announcing it this week, so it doesn't get
washed.
swarmed up. But
Washed.
they could even just be throwing him right up, right? Who even knows, right? Like with Arlovsky, he's not fighting Askarov. He's not fighting Perez, Matt now. They're booked up. He's probably not fighting Figueiredo.
Imagine if he is.
Benavidez.
Is he still fighting? Like, come on. At that point, if we need to go in there and watch Benavidez get knocked out by Cody Garbrandt by no love, that'll be disappointing. Like, I'll be actually
It's one of
upset.
these. It's one of these rare move downs where it's no doubt in our mind the guy can make the weight. From my position, like he's like from what he said, I remember on Joe Rogan, he said he walks around at like close to 135.
Okay.
He's
I
not a
mean, we
big
could
guy.
talk about him for an hour
So, like,
because
he
we
can cut
did we did after the Font fight, but
No, but I was like, there's not a ton of fights at flyweight, so like
you're right. You're right. You have a point in that.
it's not a massive pool. So especially if he has it booked already.
Yeah.
We haven't
hear
seen
that.
Benavidez in a while.
Mhm.
Let me just look up the rankings real quick. But
We haven't seen him in a while. That is
I think
true.
it's definitely the good move for him. It's
I
too big
agree.
of a shark tank in the bantamweight division. He's not big enough, especially for some of these guys. When you think there's guys like Sean O'Malley in the division. You got the Rob Fonts in the division. Corey Sandhagens. It's a fucking Shark Tank, and they're fucking these modern bantamweights. They don't fuck around.
Right.
Pantoja maybe.
Could be Pantoja.
Pantoja
would be
at 3.
a good fight for him.
Or Roy Val.
No, Pantoja would be.
Yeah, or Karol
I think
France,
Pantoja would be a good fight for him.
They're going to give him to somebody in the top 5, and it's really the only people that would be or Pantoja at 3, and Benavidez at 5.
It'll either be Pantoja or Benavidez.
If he's not fighting the champion or number 1, which he don't.
And I think
he needs to win first. He needs to win first before he fights one of those guys.
Man, I don't want to see Benavidez fight.
Because his last fight,
no
Cody Garbrandt just lost to. Did he just lose to him? I thought he was going to win.
Rob Font.
Yeah, Rob Font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it for like an hour even after. We talked about how good fucking Font looked. And we were like, you even said it. I remember it. And I agree with
because Cody Garbrandt with the wrestling. Cody Garbrandt, that Cody Garbrandt, I think could be a fucking killer at fucking.
No, but you said it best yourself.
Knowing that he can use all of it now, with using the wrestling and all that. He was just having to fight an absolute fucking killer.
And he was
the best version of Rob Font we've ever seen, fighting 5 rounds like a killer.
Yeah. And at the end of a reach a disadvantage, and at the end of being sick, like you said, that was a huge point of what you were saying.
Shift.
Remember at the end of it?
Now he'll have all the advantages. He'll probably he has a size advantage on pretty much everybody except for Davison, pretty much probably.
Did they say did they give a date around when that's going to be announced?
No, you said that Maynard's going to announce it.
Okay. So we need to see him anyways. At the same time, he'll look even better and stuff like that because, like you said in the last time,
if he can keep that power to it, he'll fuck people up. I think him versus Pantoja will be a good scrap.
I think him versus
Pantoja, don't fucking fuck around Pantoja. Let's put your ass to sleep.
No, that's why it's a perfect fight. That's why it's a perfect fight. You can make it another fight night. You can make it another fight night.
Well, especially too because, wow. But honestly, fuck. Because maybe even give Davis. I mean, give Moreno a break. Honestly, because I kind of want to see Davison versus Pantoja again. You know what I mean? They've had some fucking scraps.
Nah, man.
Or is it just the one scrap they've had? They've had the one scrap.
Realistically here,
you wouldn't want to see Davison versus. You want to just see the automatic rematch. That's the only thing.
I don't want to see the automatic.
Probably gonna be Benavidez though. Like Benavidez isn't retired. He's gonna fight Benavidez. He's gonna come in and knock him out.
If he goes in and knocks out Benavidez,
he will though. If he fights,
there's just no validity to that at this point. Benavidez
guy that was just fucking last couple fights were both for the title, so the UFC will be like, yeah, fucking former title.
He hasn't done anything since.
Yeah, but that's all. It's all about narrative, bro. It's all about fucking what you can spin.
Man, I don't even know, man. I remember Benavidez. Oh man, that just makes me upset. I don't know.
That'll be a fucking like a co-main event on like a fight night. Be fucking Benavidez and fucking.
That'll be fucking mint.
Cody Garbrandt.
If they can get a good main for that, I'm in. We're always in though.
Yeah, but that's kind of the last thing I think we really needed to.
I wish we had some photos so it would be easier.
It was
to
funny though. Probably one of the best tweets,
but it doesn't really matter at this point.
I don't know if you didn't acknowledge it in the chat, so I don't know, but probably one of the best tweets I've seen in a long time for anybody that's watching the Euros. And saw that last penalty on Sterling. Peter Jan on Twitter made the comment, "It was a dive. Is it a coincidence that his last name is also Sterling?"
Of course, man.
Yeah. That's good though. That's a good one.
They're both fucking. They're still throwing jabs at each other. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Are you ready to start breaking some of this?
Yeah, let's get into it. We've put it
some of this bitch down.
Put it off. Sure.
We got a middleweight bout starting off the evening at 185 pounds between Alan Amedovski, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach, taking on Yazon Hu, 6'3" with a 72-inch reach. Amedovski's coming off of a knockout loss to John Phillips, which isn't speaking too well to it, and
in
nonetheless,
14 seconds. 14 seconds
nonetheless,
left.
all the way back down in 2019, in kind of midway 2019. So we haven't seen him in a while. Before that,
14 seconds in. Is that what that says? Is that
I
accurate?
can't check typology, bro. I don't have that good internet to pull up. Like I don't have multiple shit tabs.
According to Apple, it says 14 seconds.
Okay, as long as that's what it
maybe
says,
14 seconds left though.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it off the top of my head because it's fucking like almost a year and a half ago. And like I said, didn't get to rewatch this one this week. But
no, but that doesn't instill a lot of
to
confidence.
John Phillips, it's not a great look. And then he came off of a UD loss to Krzysztof Jotko, which I feel like I've watched because we've seen Jotko fight recently. Or
I've seen this guy fight. I know that by the face, even though hasn't fought since 2019. I recognize the face, don't you? This guy,
bro, I can't.
Oh yeah,
look
right.
at him. I'm not looking at him. You know what I mean? I don't have any internet, man. I'm just fucking here. I actually wait. Fucking let me just pull up here.
It's fine. But yeah, Jotko's not. It's not as like losing a decision loss to Jotko is less. Definitely less shocking. But yeah, coming back on the Yao Zong, who's making his third appearance in the UFC, also taking back-to-back losses.
Yep.
First one was a rear naked choke loss in the second round to Cyril Askar in 2017, and then a decision loss to Rashad Coulter in 2018. So both guys not active. Both guys have not got a win in the UFC.
Yep.
This is what you call an absolute pass of a fight. What's the line? What's the line on this?
I don't know. You check the line. I'm checking the topologies now.
But my heart would say take the guy from North Macedonia.
Yeah, same. I'm honestly thinking about.
Yeah, I don't really want to touch this fight with a 10.5 foot pole.
We have to pick it. So.
Yeah, so my heart says North Macedonia. Is it North Macedonia versus China? Or the nickname Tortoro? Yeah, this guy's got 5 fights. I'm not fucking picking him. I'm taking Alan Ibadovsky.
So am I. I'm taking him. Yeah, probably taking him.
He's the slight favorite in the fight.
Yeah, I'm going to take Imedovsky in this one. I'm going to take this one to go the distance. I'm going to take Imedovsky to win via or a late submission. Maybe like a third or a fourth round submission. I mean, a third round submission.
It just like could not be more of like who knows what these guys have been doing for the last.
That's what I mean,
years.
Right? Like who the fuck knows? Like these guys.
Through the pandemic, it's like who knows? They could be.
We've said this so many times. I remember saying this about Shoeface. He was one of my favorite guys. Well, maybe he'll be fucking. We haven't seen him since 2019. Maybe his striking will be amazing.
Yeah, well, like it's all the potential is there for improvement, or people can fuck off and look like absolute shit. There's absolutely no way of knowing. We're not some insiders. Nobody's got these like who knows. At the end of the day, it's all. That's what the crazy thing about this sport. Like obviously, we're not going heavy into these first fights tonight, especially when it's one of these guys. Unfortunately, it's another one where like I don't think it's gonna like the under 1.5. Like
that's what I'm thinking, right?
The under 1.5 is actually it's more favorable too, but like I don't want to bet it. Like what? Why is it more favorable too? This is bullshit. Like the under 1.5 is only 2.1 to 1. These guys are both shit. Who are they finishing? Like what? I don't know. We'll see. Because obviously we've been kind of a cold streak with that first fight.
On a big cold
recently.
streak with that
I think they
first
haven't
fight.
even been like they haven't like usually they literally even design them as to be an entertaining fight, but like the last couple weeks they've been kind of even some of the heavyweight fights have been sleeper heavyweight fights. The first fight tonight.
It's true. And I always go back to that. Like there's some fucking good fights.
Spend too much time on that one. Let's move on to the second fight of the night.
Next fight of the night is a flyweight bout at 125 pounds between Zalgas Zumagulov at 5'4" with a 66-inch reach, take on Jerome Rivera, 5'10" with a 72.5-inch reach. Zalgas 0-2 in the UFC with a 13-5 MMA record, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. Rivera 0-3 in the UFC with a 10-5 MMA record, no knockouts, 7 submissions. Zalgas coming off a UD loss to Amir Albazi, and then a UD loss to Rulin Palva. As far as Jerome Rivera, he's coming off a knockout loss rather recently to Ode Osborne, which I believe we covered on the channel, as well as me, and I remember, I don't know if you were there for it. It might have been a little early. You might have been at the market at this point in time. We also covered the Francisco Figueiredo and Jerome Rivera fight, and that fight was fucking sloppy. I honestly thought Jerome Rivera probably won that fight, but
against who? Sorry, Figueiredo?
Figueiredo's brother. That was
he won that fight. He got robbed there, but then he slopped that was already and then he takes less than a month later, moves up not 1 weight class but 2, and fights Ode Osborne and gets finished. Like what?
Exactly. Thank you.
What are you?
Thank you.
What are you doing, man?
Exactly. It's a what are you doing?
We said it at the time, but then say it again. Like that was stupid. Like what are you doing, man?
It's probably because he felt so sour about that fucking robbery ass loss to
trying to get the sour taste out of your mouth. Yeah, by what? Getting your fucking slept? Like God.
I definitely want to know who his manager was in that scenario. You know what I mean? Like who was his team that was like, yo man, this is probably a good idea. Like just do it. You're not getting any younger, man. Someone probably said some shit like that to him. Oh yeah, you're right, man. You're definitely right. I don't know, man. This is definitely going to be one of those hard fights. Like Zalgas is one of these guys who's, always comes in a fight, has had some hard fights with Amir Albazi. The Paiva fight was kind of Paiva showing his length a little bit in it and being able to move and box a little bit better and get out of some bad positions. But if you look through the career of Zalgas Zumagulov, he's beaten guys by like Tagir Ulanbekov. He's beaten guys like Tyson Nam. I mean, he's beaten and fought tough guys throughout his career. Has Jerome Rivera? Yeah, he has, and he's made mistakes. Like we've said, he's fought and got knocked out by Tyson Nam. He's lost to Francisco Figueiredo, which we honestly thought that might have actually been a win. And then he's gone up 2 weight classes. What weight is this fight at currently?
125.
This one's out. It is at 125. I did say that before the fight. So honestly, like this fight's in my eyes is gonna play out a completely different way. I mean, the way I still see it going is I see probably Zalgas winning the fight. I see him probably winning a decision in this one. I don't think he's gonna finish. I don't think he's gonna finish Rivera, but man, I do like Rivera, and I do think that like there might be some money to be put on Rivera and play some money on Rivera.
Have you seen the line?
No, I haven't.
So like I think I'd probably lean towards Zalgas, even though we have another fight where neither person has won a UFC fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, but like obviously, I think that considering that you said that I do think that Rivera got robbed against the guy that landed like 25 punches or whatever.
20 punches, not even.
It was bullshit.
15.
No, it was like fucking. No, I think it was
Might
like
have been
30.
20.
I think it was
Might have
30.
been 20.
I think it was 30.
Sure.
But that you still 30 punches over 30 rounds. I think Rivera definitely had won that fight. But that aside, the line is definitely off considering neither guy has won a UFC fight. They got Rivera like 3.6 to 1 plus 260. Definitely not touching Zalgas at that. So it's definitely a dog or pass kind of fight. I'll definitely take a stab at Rivera. Like
100%.
What's Rivera decision?
Rivera's become my guy now.
Rivera decision 6 to 1. Yeah. Plus 500.
Smoking aces. I'm picking Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera decision. What do you think?
Yeah. Done.
Zalgas pretty tough.
Zalgas is tough.
So
Rivera's setting the pace straight this weekend. Let's go, Rivera.
The pick's Zalgas, but that line's off, so we'll definitely be throwing some money on the Dogger Pass fight. So, and we're degenerates. So.
Huge degenerates. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, moving on.
We got a middleweight bet at 185
people with
pounds.
some wins.
Yeah, exactly.
This actually moves all the way up to a fight that you'd actually even see like a this could be a co-main on a fight night. It goes all the way, escalates
yeah.
quite quickly into some good.
Oh yeah,
fights.
0 to 100 real quick. Middleweight bout at 185 pounds between Omari Akbar, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach, take on Brad Tavares, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Omari Akbar 9-4-1 in the UFC with a 25-1 MMA record, 7 knockouts, 6 submissions. Brad Tavares 13-6 in the UFC with a 17-6 MMA record. 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. Brad Tavares is coming off that UD win over Antonio Carlos Jr., which, he pretty much just used the hands and was able to fend off Antonio Carlos Jr., who didn't really look like he was able to even, stand and trade at that level with Brad Tavares. Tavares did look pretty good, although he did look like he was gassing out towards the end of that fight. And I thought that, Antonio Carlos Jr. did have some openings to do some things. Brad Tavares shut a lot of that down and was able to put a good beat down on him and get that UD win. The Shabazian fight was obviously the fight where we saw Brad Tavares get, try to land some low kicks, set up some hard shots to the hands. He ate that 1-2, stumbled and dropped, and then he took that high kick pretty much right as he was getting up, ending the fight, crumpling him like a like a cheap piece of paper. Then the fight against Israel Adesanya, obviously that was the UD loss in which, he was trying to close a lot of this distance against Adesanya and pretty much just use this inside phone booth punching style on him. And I mean, this is like, we haven't seen a lot of finishes from a guy like Tavares, so I'd be totally leaning away. Like, that's just I have notes beside that Adesanya fight. He basically was just trying to look to try and pick single shots. He had that trouble finding a range, which a lot of guys do against Israel Adesanya. He was almost dropped with some big solid body kicks. He just wasn't throwing enough, and he was landing some good jabs. He got a short takedown, but obviously it wasn't enough. Israel Adesanya was able to just use his length and dominated at that distance. Omari Akbar, he's coming off that submission win over Tom Breeze, in which a lot of people, man, that shit got rescheduled. And me and Dan, I know Dan was with me from all the beginning. Fucking Omari, we were riding Omari hard in that motherfucker. And Omari was able to actually finally come out even when they got the reschedule against Tom Breeze. Even with a little bit better striking from Tom Breeze, and even through I think there were some sketchy moments in that fight where Omari Akbar did look, we were like, but nonetheless, Omari Akbar got it done, got the submission win, and rolled through a guy that was like really should have given him a lot of problems, which it really looked good for me. And then of course,
the ref was in that fight.
What, in the Omari Akbar fight?
Sharp. It was Lucas Bosaki.
I wonder if we'll get him again soon.
Well, he's only on Fight Island, right?
I guess he is. I guess he is.
Yeah,
bro, I can't wait. I want to go and visit him. Oh, these are baller glasses.
Yeah, we should. We'll go one day. We'll go to Abu Dhabi one day. At one point, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a matter of if we won. But yeah, who are you taking? Are you? Yeah,
let me just do the Omari Akbar Chris Weidman fight. Versus Chris Weidman, that was a UD loss. Pretty much before that fight, it was pretty much a fight in which we saw, we saw him kind of defending some TDs. He's got some big, wild punches that he likes to loop over. During that fight against Chris Weidman, it was honestly, he almost had him out. He had some good lead hooks, good straight to the body. He was able to stand after some good Weidman takedowns and able to kind of, get back to his feet and look pretty good and piece Weidman up to the point where I thought, yeah, Weidman's going to go out here. If he just has one or two step ups, he was eating shots, looking like it was going to be game over for Chris Weidman in that fight. But throughout these fights and what we see in Omari Akbarov's career, he ends up tending to gas. And against these guys that like to push a kind of a hard pace on him, that's when we kind of see him gassing out. Showing him, you kind of see him not being able to get up. And Weidman was able to just kind of lay on him, punch him for the remainder of the fight. In this fight, I don't have any idea of the lines here. I mean, it's definitely a close looking one for me. In this fight, I think I'm probably going to have to take Omari Akbar.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was in the same boat before I saw the lines as well, but this is another one. I don't know what's going on. Are they?
Bro, are you telling me it's going to be another? It might be another
slipping.
Saturday night where we're screaming. Screaming.
I'm thinking I'm getting on this one early because I think it is. This one's off and there'll be some movement. But they got Akhmedov at 2.37-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I might have to make some.
Brad Tavares at 1.57. Yeah, I kind of want to place a bet on him tonight before that even just starts moving around. On points,
no one likes Akhmedov. every fucking time I feel like he's a dog, and it's like, oh, this guy's gonna beat Akhmedov.
He lost again. Yeah, he lost in a performance, pretty good performance from Weidman. But like, that's a former fucking champion. Other than that, he hasn't lost since 2016. Like, he had a draw against Marvin Vettori. Like, this guy was before that unbeaten in over 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
Over 6 fights. Like,
yeah.
Brad Tavares, like, obviously he has that. I think he has like a high school wrestling background, doesn't he, or something like that?
I think.
But like,
Akhmedov
is definitely, in, by my estimation, the superior grappler, and I think that's where he'll take the fight. He might even submit him. Again,
I agree. I think that him being the superior grappler, I think that leads into it. I think that it also leads into the fact that
Akhmedov, the submission, Pat, 11-1.
Ridiculous. Like, we're gonna just be fucking bathing in money.
Yeah, this will be the fourth fight in the fight.
Yeah, perfect, man.
They're chaining these. He's like, whoa! He hadn't gotten a finish. Fucking ever. Had he fucking got a finish?
Who?
Or he hadn't got a fucking finish in like fucking 8 years. Fucking
Tavares?
No, Akhmedov before submitting Tom Breeze. But maybe he's like, wow.
He had the sub though. I know LJ had the sub for sure. LJ had the sub in that fight for sure. Yes, he did for sure.
Because he was anti Tom Breeze. I kind of remember that.
I was on Tom Breeze. He was on Tom Breeze. I think you were on.
What? No, I thought we were on Akhmedov.
We were on Akhmedov. I think Doug might have been on Tom Breeze. Now I'm doing the classic. I don't even remember.
Doug's not in. Yeah, stop.
I'm not gonna do this.
But yeah, no, I think especially fuck.
There's a breakdown video up for that though. There's a breakdown video up for that.
62% on Tapology are taking Akhmedov too.
62% on Tapology are taking Akhmedov. Oh fuck! Tapology's always wrong.
Yeah, but I think that's it. But that's not like it's a huge margin. But like, I think that's decent.
I'm taking Akhmedov for sure.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm all the way locked in. Lock me up with Omari Akbar to win that fight.
Let's keep rolling on. That's good. That's a solid fucking underdog though.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna put like a couple units straight on him.
What was the last time Tavares has been choked?
I think he'll probably go
or even finished.
It would have been when a Shabazian head kick, but I don't think he's been submitted.
No, submitted or like something like that.
He actually has been submitted in the Ultimate Fighter. Court McGee submitted him. Most likely I'd say decision, but I think
decision on that one.
It's not worth it for the decision for me. I'll probably play the straight line, and I'll probably take a stab on the submission.
Submission, yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna at that current value. I'm probably gonna put probably 10-15 straight on that.
I like that.
Straight on Akhmedov, like that's great value. But I think it'll move closer. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, same. I definitely need to.
And Rivera, like that's got to move too. Like, so like, why does somebody deserve to be that much of a favorite when you have not?
Well, maybe there's something you don't know. Then maybe there's something we don't know.
We know everything.
No, we don't, man. I haven't had.
But they're just like, oh, he was finished. He was just finished very quickly. But that was at 145. What? It's fucking Jerome Rivera fighting with fucking one arm. Like, what do we don't know? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Zalgas is on fucking what? Horse meat? What are you talking? I don't know. What are you talking about?
Horse meat. I like it.
Yeah, that one we could obviously go easy. I think that most likely will go the distance though. If that's,
I would think so. I would say that one's going to go the distance. I'd give that one.
But if somebody's going to get the finish, I'd say it's it's Akhmedov.
Yeah, I would agree too. We haven't seen a finish from fucking Tavares. Like I said, in so long, it's been a while for him. So.
Yeah, the fight to go the distance is at like 1.44. So like, yeah, it's not even worth betting on. So.
Okay, on to the next one here. We got a women's bout at flyweight, 125 pounds between Jessica I, 5'6".
This is a good one. Like these are fights like.
I know this actually is a good fight. And Jennifer Maia, 5'4" with a 64-inch reach. Jessica I, 5'8" in the UFC with a 15-9 MMA record. 3 knockouts, 1 submission. Jennifer Maia, 3-3 in the UFC with an 8-7-1 MMA record with 4 knockouts and 5 submissions. Jessica I, she's coming off that UD loss to Joanne Calderwood, in which it was a pretty close fight. But honestly, we kind of all looked around after that fight, and I think we had picked Evil Eye in that fight, or at least I had. And I mean,
who?
Joanne Calderwood. That was one we did on the channel.
No, I probably picked JoJo.
And basically in that fight, man, she did not look great. Joanne kind of like was able to dictate the fight a lot. Jessica, I just didn't really look like she even really wanted to be there, in my opinion. And we kind of had a discussion about that after the fight, and throughout and stuff like that. Then coming off that UD loss to Cynthia Calvillo, I mean, throughout that fight, she kept her head on the center line a lot. Looked, like I said in the Joanne Calderwood fight, looked somewhat kind of robotic with her shots, just kind of just placing them. There's no flow to her movement. She was able to keep some forward pressure on Calvillo and trying to counter a stiff jab from Calvillo, but she was stuffing some TDs, got taken down, was able to get back up against the fence, and then you pretty much saw Calvillo able to take the back a couple of times. She throws a little bit too many straight punches and just tends to get countered, tends to get into that rhythm of just throwing and not countering, not even really just throwing to throw. Like there's just no reason or rhyme behind her punches and her kicks and stuff like that. So, I mean, she's able to land some good shots on the hands and feet sometimes with some speed, but it's just a matter of how long she's able to keep that going in a fight. And with the older she gets, it's really become a thing that we don't see Jessica Eye keeping that quick power, that quick pop that she used to have in bringing it into later rounds of these fights. As far as Jennifer Maia goes, she's coming off that UD loss to Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, she didn't look great in that fight. It's Valentina Shevchenko, like we knew pretty much what was going to happen when she came into that fight. And
there's that whole narrative though, like, oh, she got taken down, like she maybe lost a round or whatever. Yeah, like that was the whole narrative.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I remember. Yeah, you can only do so good for so long.
Exactly right.
She ended up getting. Yeah, she still lost the UD, of course.
Yeah, of course. And then in the Joanne Calderwood fight, she ended up getting the sub over Joanne Calderwood. Obviously, just doing a little quick. I mean, at this point, honestly, me looking at this fight straight off the bat, picking it, I'm taking Jennifer Maia to beat Jessica. I just think Jessica is a little bit past it at this point in her career. I think that she's just not really maybe bringing it as much anymore. I think that she might be in there just to fulfill out her contract, payday it up, and then vamonos.
Well, yeah, like even like I'm sure the UFC is not really even too eager to. Necessarily, like, well, yeah,
but they pay her well.
But like, why would you at this point? Like,
but they do because she's on contract.
But I'm saying it's once she's off contract. I'm not saying the UFC's not what's not one the UFC's like overly eager to re-up. I don't think. But no, I'm taking Jennifer Maia as well. I was thinking as well. May also be working. Like she's obviously his favorite in the fight. Pretty moderate favorite. I think
what are the odds on
1.5 to 1,
like sub and finish and stuff like that?
Sub for Maia is 6 to 1, which is probably worth a little shot. Nothing major.
Take a shot on it.
Because
I actually will.
Jessica has pretty good. Like she does have good jiu-jitsu. So
it's true.
Just the finish is 4.5. Like I'll take a small stab on the submission for sure, but I'll probably just play Jennifer Maia as a parlay piece. I'm pretty confident she'll win the fight.
I might even play the finish, but
like I don't think we're going to see Jennifer Maia just look amazing. And like even on her best tonight, I think she'd have a tough time against.
I think she'll look pretty good against. I think she'll look really good against Jessica Eye, to be honest.
No, I'm saying sorry. What did I say? I meant Jessica. I don't think she's going to look at like anything like too good out of the usual. Like she hasn't looked fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jessica Eye, yeah.
And even on her best night, I don't think she could beat Jennifer Maia necessarily. So I think it's a pretty solid pick. Keep rolling through.
Agreed. Keep on rolling. We got a featherweight bet at 145 pounds between Ryan Hall, 5'10" with the 71-inch reach, 4-0 in the UFC with an 8-1 MMA record, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions, taking on Ilia Topuria, 5'7" with the 69-inch reach, 2-0 in the UFC with a 10-0 MMA record, 2 knockouts, 7 submissions. Ryan Hall coming off that UD win over Darren Elkins, in which we saw him pretty much just able to put a bit of a pound down, bit of that damage on Darren Elkins, able to kind of go through different positions, able to show us a little bit of his stand-up game, tied in with that ground game like he normally likes to. Then in the BJ Penn fight, we've obviously seen, we know Ryan Hall from this illustrious career he had, not only from the Ultimate Fighter, but through fighting in ADCCE competitions, through fighting guys like Nate Diaz and stuff like that, early on in their careers and stuff like that. He's definitely one of these next level, that's why they call him the Wizard, on the ground guys. We saw him tie up BJ Penn in probably something like 20 seconds. It was crazy. I mean, Ryan Hall has been one of these guys who's been trying to get a fight. We've seen him matched up, booked up. We've talked about it a million times now on the channel.
It's ridiculous. He's fought 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Or
Fought
well,
3
no,
times.
well, he's actually fought three official UFC fights, which is obviously he's got the Ultimate Fighter, but like
Exactly.
3 UFC fights in 5 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
5,
That's
6
absolutely
years,
crazy.
which is a combination of obviously a little bit of inactivity on his part, but also a lot of people just literally not wanting to fight him.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup.
People.
Definitely a very
People,
bad
no,
matchup.
it's bad luck too. You don't want to lose to that guy.
No, absolutely.
But it's like, and you can easily, he can fuck you up. Like you can do something way better than you can. That you can't. It's impossible for you to really equal.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to compete with him once he gets you in that position if he catches you.
Yep. And
in that heel hook position, but
it's crazy. I mean,
against
it
a
is
cat
crazy.
like Topuria, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, Topuria is one of these kind of scary guys. He is. He's got that.
This is what it boils down to when you can't.
Yeah.
Get the fights you deserve, and then I'm fucking throwing one of these young killers at you.
Yep. And
fucking
then
harsh
you
reality
can
of the game
sometimes
here.
get one of those. Yeah, you can sometimes get like yourself. Sometimes like somewhat of a backfire. Topuria coming off a knockout win over Damon Jackson, then a UD win over Yusuf Zalal. I mean, the way I'm leaning in this fight, I think that Ryan Hall does have the skills to put it on a guy like Topuria. And I think if he does put it on a guy like Topuria, he needs to fucking make a big statement. He's not a big talker, and like that's the whole problem. Like that's kind of what gets you fights now these days in the UFC. So it is kind of a hard way. Even if he gets a quick win over Topuria, it puts on definitely a better face. But I think
it's even harder to fucking get a matchup. Like it's not like then it's somebody that's not even gonna move him up in the rankings. Like it's such a bullshit position.
That's what I mean.
Put it. But like as he kind of has been saying a little bit in media, is like this just showing the other people like you got to take fights when they offer you fights. Like it's not your fucking job to turn down fights. When they book you with me, just fight me. Like that's what we do, fighters. But like obviously that's not gonna change anybody else's mind. They're not gonna still fight him. But now he's got to fight this 10-0 Georgian cat,
who's a skilled kid nonetheless.
Which is great. They got the Georgian flag, and then they say.
I love
born
Topuria,
in Germany.
I love Topuria, man. I
and
would
then
pick him against anybody
he's holding
else.
the Georgian Spanish flag.
I would pick him against anybody else.
Out of Spain. Oh yeah, same. Especially beating guys like one of my fans. Like I'm a fan of fucking Yusuf Zalal, who I was definitely betting on against him, and I
remember that. Yeah,
I probably took him against David Jackson, but and obviously that impressive finish. Like I think there's definitely a chance. Unfortunately, that he could finish Ryan Hall.
That's what I'm saying too.
It is unlikely. I just think like it's just bullshit though. Like I hate it. I hate that it's kind of this, but when you fact that you haven't had Ryan Hall fights in 2019, he's fucking 36 now. It's not a good matchup. He's gonna have to put himself in vulnerable positions, and it's somebody with some power.
Yep.
I want to bet on Ryan Hall so bad.
I know, but
I'm such a fan of him. But like, this guy's a killer. And I told myself, I don't bet against Georgians unless it's fucking who's his name? It's not that good. Oh, Dolidze. Unless it's Dolidze. Dolidze doesn't really apply because he's too crazy. But what's the fight? What's this fight not to go the distance?
I don't know. You've got all the lines and the numbers. You let me know.
Under 2.5, or just the night fight not to go the distance 1.57. It's not great. Why is that so much better? There's just there's better value on the under 2.5. But I guess there's the chance in the last 2.5 minutes of the fight, so I guess it wouldn't be worth it necessarily.
What are people picking in this fight? I'm checking Topology real quick. People are thinking, ooh, wow, people are taking Topuria. Majority on by finish, too. Wow.
Well, yeah, Topuria is the favorite in the fight. Pretty solid favorite. I think he's actually been taking money, too. I think Ryan Hall's at almost 3-1.
It's saying moderate underdog now at this point on Topology.
It's 2.9 to 1. Plus 190.
Well, I'm taking Ryan Hall.
Yeah, we got to roll.
I was taking him anyways. Doesn't matter.
Submission,
like I was saying, in
6-1.
any other fight against any other guy, I'd say Topuria's winning.
But
You're not beating fucking Ryan Hall. Good luck.
But this isn't a cat that he's gonna be able to I think he has to get the submission.
No, I don't think so.
He's not gonna. He won't win a decision against.
Yes, he will.
No, he won't, bro. How? No, with the awkward, he's too good of a Poirier's too good of a striker, bro. I don't know. You think so? At 36, inactive wizard. I know. I love him, bro. I love him as much as you do. But like, he's not a very particular style, and it only really is a combination with the threat. But it's a guy who's not only able to. It's like the Poirier doesn't obviously have the leg lock game, but like Poirier's got a very solid grappling game as well, and he's very confident there. I don't think there's a single chance that Ryan Hall is going to be able to. He's going to have to fucking Imanari roll, and he's going to have to fucking leg lock him. That's the only way he's going to win the fight.
Exactly what he's going to do.
That's exactly that's his only. But like you're saying,
it's going to be a decision, though. I think it's going to be.
But a decision. Exactly. But for who? To Poirier.
Ryan Hall.
No, bro. He's not. He's not going to win the fuck. He's not going to. How? By fucking spinning around on his back trying to catch a fucking ankle?
No, I think there's going to be a lot more fighting on the feet than you think. I think it's going to be a fun fight.
There will be, but I don't think he'll have as much success as he's had against some of his previous opponents who are less apt in both areas. He's just, unfortunately, he's got fucking pushed into this corner against a cat who's probably going to fucking beat him. Am I going to fucking bet on Ryan Hall? Am I going to lose money? Yes. But like, fuck. Like it's not fucking BJ Penn in 2018 who he's heel hooking. It's not fucking Darren Elkins. It's different fucking cats. It's a different fucking level of cat. It's not fucking Gray Maynard in the fucking Ultimate Fighter finale, bro. It's literally like we're kind of hanging too much on 3 fights. We love him too much, and there's just been too many fights booked and canceled, or we can't do it. Sorry, my headphones just fell off.
I'm taking him.
Let's bleed it back. Yeah, we're taking him, but bro, we gotta like fucking. We're hedging it. Oh, fuck. Oh. If you're saying you can win a decision against the Moroccan devil, and you're saying he's gonna fucking outstrike him, like no, bro. I don't think so. Bro.
I do.
He's gonna have to catch him. I think we go on the sub. We go on that 6-1 sub train. Cause fuck it, why not? That's like I don't think we even touch anything else. I think we just go.
It's 6-1 for Ryan Hall to sub him.
Yeah,
that's absolutely egregious.
He's 3-1 to win the fight, bro. It's not that egregious.
That's also egregious.
He's only won 3 fights that are in the Ultimate Fighter. So, like, is it though? Over 6 years? Like, I love him. He's a fucking dangerous cat, but like, Poirier is fucking dangerous, dude. He's different. Fucking, he's a more modern fucking level of fighter too. This guy's got fucking.
It's a good point. I mean,
Damon Jackson and Yusuf Zalal are two fucking like those 2 wins. You come into the UFC and those are your 2 first fights and you win both those. You finish Damon Jackson in the first round.
Yeah,
that's impressive, bro. He's just fucking.
Damon Jackson had already been finished in the first round. Let's not fucking start.
Yeah, but fucking.
Let's not start fucking.
It's not fucking those. It's not like a fucking. Like even I'm a Sean O'Malley fan. It's not a fucking Sean O'Malley fucking start.
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about Sean O'Malley.
Fuck off, bro.
How many fights are we away from
that?
Like
I'm happy.
No, we're a couple away. Yeah. I know, but I just can't
You're
wait.
Moving too slow. We are taking
a long time.
This one's like a dilemma though. This one's actually like a moral dilemma.
There's a lot of them that are dilemmas. I'm thinking we have to just take Hall at this point, but I think we have to pick maybe almost put it on to Poirier and pick Hall.
Hedge. You already know there'll be some hedge action, but we'll definitely probably hedge it with like
because you know what? That'll be like the last leg of the parlay of a 3
round 3.
It'll be like me doing a parlay between Rivera, Akhmedov, and then I'll fucking throw. I'll fade the women's fight, and then I'll do the Ryan Hall and Poirier, but I'll just hedge those both.
Those 3, you're saying go Rivera, Akhmedov.
I'll lock the first 2 down. Yeah, I'll lock the first 2 down. Akhmedov's gonna win. Rivera's gonna win.
For all 3 of those to happen, though, this is why 20. It's almost it's just under 25 to 1.
Oh my god, I make so much money.
That's label that. It's the underdog long shot parlay.
No,
the underdog
you have to,
prelim parlay.
you have to parlay it. I mean, hedge the last one. I think you have to.
What with Poirier finish?
No, just
or what's the Poirier decision?
Yeah,
because that is the thing though. Because at the end of the day, like Ryan Hall, his style, it is a very defensive focused style as well. He doesn't take damage, really, because he uses a lot of range strikes. It's not like fucking Chase Hooper who fucking throws his fucking ragdoll head in there to get fucking battered. The Poirier decision at 3.4.
So do that. So then just do that. Just hedge the decision for Poirier then with the last one.
That's even obviously even bigger. That goes to 29 to 1. But okay, wow. That's a crazy part of that.
That's what I'm doing. I'll see.
That'll never hit.
I'll see you guys in Hitsville.
Like I think anybody for those they could all happen, but for all of them to happen,
they will. Middleweight bout at 185 pounds.
I like the parlay. It's a good 30 as far as 31. It's a fucking great parlay, and I think all of those lines are off.
I think those lines are broken, which I kind of like. I like when there's some busted ass lines that I get to exploit. That's kind of actually
they're too focused on Conor.
They're just
head in the
they're
too focused on the 8 ball. They take their
Mm-hmm.
This is when we fucking strike.
Honestly, might be the best time.
And then and now to probably what would be the fight of the night candidate if there ever was one. To be a candidate if they let us bet it, this would be.
They might, but I don't think so. Middleweight bout at 185 pounds between Trevin Giles, 6 foot to 74-inch reach, taking on.
Oh wait, no, this. Oh fuck, no, you got me all fucked up.
Oh, you're on the next one. Yeah,
because you skipped over this one on Tapology. Sorry, go ahead.
What? Different order? I have a different order?
Go ahead.
Oh, whatever. Welterweight bout at 170 pounds. This is the right one, eh? No, I'm all fucked up.
Yeah, no. It's Giles.
No, middleweight. That's middleweight at 185.
What did you say? What?
I just fucking scrolled to the wrong one. Just relax. Middleweight bout at 185 pounds between Trevin Giles, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach, and Dricus Duplessis, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. Giles, 4-2 in the UFC with a 13-2 MMA record, 6 knockouts, 5 submissions. Duplessis, 1-0 in the UFC with a 15-2 MMA record, 6 knockouts, 9 submissions. Giles, he's coming off that UD win over Roman Dolidze, in which we know both guys kind of looked a little bit, it wasn't the greatest fight. We were kind of thinking about what's going on, but Giles really did take over in that fight, used a lot of good jab work, really pressed on the action when he needed to, and put a good stamp on a victory there over Dolidze. I mean, it was definitely close, hung in a balance a little bit, but I think we all agreed pretty much live that we probably all scored that one for Giles with just the activity throughout the last 2 rounds. The Bevon Lewis fight was a knockout win for him. He looked pretty good early. He looked for that takedown early, not really able to keep him down. Some jabs and hooks, ended up catching and dropping Lewis. He was able to dictate the second very well, landing some good pressure. And then he was able to just keep dictating the rest of that fight well and land a good 1-2 hook and finish Bevon Lewis. The James Krause fight, that was a split decision win. We've talked about that before on the channel. We've obviously kind of thought that could have gone either way.
I thought Krause won that.
Exactly. We've said that before.
That third round, yeah. That was a fucking hell of a third round.
For sure. Giles definitely looked like he tired out and gassed out in that fight. Duplessis, he's coming off a knockout win over Marcus Perez, in which he looked really good, really dangerous, just pretty much just going in there and dominating Marcus Perez, and then getting a submission win over Brendan Lazar. I don't even know. Let me check where that fight was. Was that fight in the UFC? Oh, what's up, Jay Blues? I'm on all different internet, bro. My internet's been down all week, bro. All fucking week. My internet line is cut, so hopefully it'll be repaired tomorrow morning. The guy's coming at 8 in the morning, so we're getting that shit all done. I'm on site, not a different place right now, getting this shit done. But feel free to join in, man. I sent you the link if you want, man. Love the new logo, by the way. Peeped it the other night. If anyone hasn't checked it out, there it is. Looking absolutely spicy and sweet. Really picking up on it. I love it. But just going back real quick to look at if it wants to load here. Feel free, take your time.
For what?
Take your time. I'm just looking over Duplessis here a little bit. I just kind of got to jog my memory. So this fight against Trevin Giles was already scheduled.
Yeah, for back in March.
What are the odds that me and you that we covered this one? Go back. What are the odds that we covered this?
Do we have a pick for it? I don't
Yeah.
know. When was it canceled?
Check the YouTube. Check the YouTube. Just check the YouTube real quick. Go to Holland. Just go to our YouTube real quick, Dan. Go to Holland.
Probably not, because we ended up we definitely had a breakdown for the Delize fight, because Delize ended up fighting him.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. Oh, Dan.
On that date, so
You're dead on with that shit, Dan. The Marcus Perez fight. What fight card was that on? That was at the end of 2020. Moraes versus Sandhagen. Ooh. I do remember it, but just not all the way through. That's like I said, it's been kind of a minute thinking about Dricus Du Plessis and his
this is a tough ass fight to call.
Another tough fight to call.
But I think we gotta lean towards the experience here on this one. Like I think just because you beat fucking crazy ass Marcus Perez, like I don't know. You can have all the EFC and KSW wins you want, but when you've proved it as much in the octagon as Trevin Giles has, and like obviously even if he did lose that Krause fight, obviously he's taken a couple of submission losses, but like it's not the worst way to go out. There's worse fucking so. It's obviously it's a pick 'em for a reason because it's such a tough call, but
I honestly think
I've been back and forth.
I think I might be leaning the other way from you. I might be going with Du Plessis. But that's the thing, though.
It's gonna depend on the gas tank too. Like
depends on tank, and also the thing I see and I look at it is, and I see.
I'm just gonna fade whatever the Tapology community said.
I think I'm gonna go with Du Plessis.
Oh, they're taking Du Plessis.
They are.
Giles. I'm taking Giles.
Fuck. What's the favoriting looking like on that?
63 to 37.
Oh, shit, man.
What's the size? What's the size difference?
It's so close.
It's very close. Pretty much the fucking irrelevant.
6 foot with a 74, and Du Plessis is 6'1" with a 76.
I think I'm not gonna probably be laying anything too heavy on this fight. That's for sure. Definitely could go either way.
The only thing that I have to think is, and I really will say this.
Probably take. Yeah, I'm taking Trevin Giles. Fuck.
I actually think I might.
I don't even like it. The way it's coming out. Reverse. Uno swap card. Dricus. We're taking Dricus.
Oh my god! I'm looking through Trevin Giles' career. He arm triangle Ike Villanueva not too long ago. Yeah, I'm not.
Fuck off.
I'm out of here. I'm out. Yeah, peace. I'm out. Yeah, I'm taking Dricus. I'm taking Dricus.
I was back at fucking Legacy too.
But like it's that the thing that's kind of weird to me is it's like when people like from what I've seen with Trevin Giles in his UFC career, when you have guys that like Trevin Giles fights that like it's like, oh, this guy's supposed to go in there and finish Trevin Giles, and they don't. That's when Trevin Giles wins the fight. Or when you're like, oh, this guy's supposed to look really good against Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles kind of like brings them down and makes them either fight at his level or just kind of says, hey, like this guy's not that good.
He does have a pretty solid pot. Like I think he could hurt Dricus, and like I don't know. I don't think he'll finish him. So
I hear that.
And I don't have enough. Like for Dricus hasn't really proven anything to me other than obviously like finish a guy in the first round is obviously impressive. Can't take that away from him. But like I said, it's a guy like Marcus Perez who definitely puts himself in some vulnerable positions and has not been on a good run, especially that was like right in the middle of that. So
I'm more leaning to take Delize.
What?
You're hearing me.
What about Delize?
I mean, sorry, not Delize. Giles.
What? Now you're going back to Giles. Okay, we spent enough time on this fight. What's your pick? What's your pick? We're not even halfway through the card yet. What's your pick? So much for a quick breakdown.
My pick in the middle. Wait, my pick in this fight. Trevin Giles decision.
Oh my god, you're a bastard.
Lock it in.
Bastard.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. I hate you so much.
That's what happens. You don't. It never. It always happens with Trevin Giles fights. Oh, this guy's gonna come in there and finish him. Nope, it's gonna be a fucking decision. You watch this shit.
I don't want to fucking pick this fight anymore now that you've done all this shit to me.
No, it's gonna happen. I've just been thinking about it now. I've been thinking about it.
I think Giles has some good fucking luck with the decisions too. He'll probably win a close decision. Fuck. Yeah.
Thank you. Just stay on what you were on before. I was the one who convinced you off of him.
No, you didn't even convince me of anything. You're just over there doing your bullshit. I'm taking Giles.
No, I'm just thinking how it's going to play out in my head. That's exactly how it's going to play out. It's going to be like one of those fights where like, oh,
it's going to be a slot fest in the third round. I can see it.
Oh, yeah. Both guys will be gassed.
Giles will win the first 2 rounds.
I think Giles will actually have more gas in the third. I think he'll know that this guy's coming in here to get him out in the first, and he'll say, hey, motherfucker, I've fought way more UFC fights than you, way higher level, arguably way higher level talent than you.
Diaz is a big cat, too.
Yeah. The leads, they went for the heel hooks and shit. We watched that shit. It was fucking wild. Nonetheless, like, it was wild. I mean, moving on from this fight, like you said, it's another hard fight to pick. Welterweight bout at 170 pounds to another hard fight between Nico Price, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach, 6-4-2 in the UFC with a 14-4 MMA record. I guess a 14-4-2 MMA record. 10 knockouts, 3 submissions. Michel Pereira, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach, 3-2 in the UFC with a 25-11 MMA record, 10 knockouts, 7 submissions. Nico Price coming over that no contest draw over Donald Cerrone, in which, both guys kind of went at it, trading blows, kind of going at it, going down to the depths, wanted to trade. Obviously, that draw kind of had both guys up in arms a little bit, at least Donald Cerrone wondering why Nico Price was celebrating it so much. I mean, in the aspect of that fight, I think we saw Nico Price, we see him in his entirety. He's pretty much a showman. He's in there to put on fights. He's, he lives up to the hybrid name because we've seen him in the past, been able to knock guys out from pretty different positions, and he definitely does have power. I think it's now led into this stage of his career, like we saw in the Vicente Luque loss and the TKO loss. I believe it was a stoppage loss, where it's a little bit, his body's a little bit kind of taking a little bit too many of these shots. It's getting to this point where he gets cut open very easily. He's now kind of filled in this role as being one of these guys that the UFC can call to come in and just have an absolute scrap. And I think that when you line him up against a guy like Michel Pereira, who's also one of these guys that will come in and have an absolute effing scrap with you, put balls against the wall and just fucking scrap with you and just put balls against the wall and just really not give a shit about what has to happen. We've seen him make some fight. We've seen him in some fights where, they haven't been the most, the best fights. We've seen, we've been like, Michelle, like, what are you doing in some of these fights, right? Like bouncing off the cage, flipping and shit, chasing guys around. But then we saw him kind of calm down a little bit, kind of somewhat bring it down. Yes.
Diego Sanchez to the dome piece.
Exactly. And then somewhat getting some
last great wins of Diego Sanchez.
somewhat getting some, he kind of, found a little bit more step in his career, took on Salim Ibadayev, basically boxed him up, made him look like a chump. Took on Chaos Williams, had a really good UD win over him as well. I mean, I think that Michel Pereira is showing a little bit more in the UFC as far as his striking, his ability. I think that it's a hard fight against Nico Price, though. Nico Price is one of these guys who's going to want to go in there and willingly want to scrap. I think that in this fight, I'm going to have to give it to Michel Pereira. I think that the willingness of Nico Price to wanting to get hit, not defensively enough as a striker. I think that Michel's kind of leaning on the upper end of becoming more of a more sensible striker, more of a guy who thinks about what he throws and about where he is in terms of in the octagon and where shots can hit him from. I think he's definitely leaning and trending in that direction more in his career at this point. I just think he is. I think he is, and I think that in this fight, I know both guys are going to probably know who they're fighting. They're going to want to bring an absolute scrap, want to get fight of the night, want to get the bonus, but I'm giving this one to Michel Pereira all the way. All the way.
All the way.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think he should win. But I think hybrid side, yeah. I think majority of the times, Pereira will win this fight, but I don't know. Hybrid's kind of dude. He's kind of been fucked around with lately. Getting that bullshit fucking no contest.
It was obviously, so would it never change? The
Vicente matchup. Of course, he's gonna take it, but that's a kid. Like, fucking, he already lost it once. He wasn't gonna fucking win that one time either. Like, it's fucking killers he's been fighting and losing to. So, I don't know. This is gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a scrap. I think it's gonna be probably a close decision.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a draw.
Could absolutely be a draw.
This is one of the ones.
So you're gonna he goes from.
No, I'm not picking the draw. I'm not picking the draw. No, I'm picking Nico Price.
Okay.
Taking hybrid.
Decision?
I have no idea. Hybrid.
Okay. Moving on.
That's all I can say.
No, it's just better news. We need to power through some of these. Welterweight bout at 170 pounds between Max Griffin, 5'11", with a 76-inch reach, 5-5 in the UFC with a 17-8 MMA record, 9 knockouts, 2 submissions. Taking on Carlos Condit at 6'2", 75.5-inch reach, 9-9 in the UFC with a 32-13 MMA record, 15 knockouts, 13 submissions. Obviously, we know a lot about Carlos Condit with his illustrious career. Throughout, he had these WC championships. He was the UFC interim champ at one point in time. I mean, we know a lot about Carlos Condit. It's kind of the end stages of his career. He had that UD win over Matt Brown recently, in which he looked really good, stuffed a lot of takedowns, was able to cut Matt Brown, do some good work in that fight. And this is not really the fight I like for him. A guy like Carlos Condit, but we did also just see Carlos Condit do some good grappling and stuff like that. But nonetheless, he's coming off the UD win over to Matt Brown. He's coming off a UD win to Court McGee, and I mean, in which back to back, he's got two kind of wins here. But then before that Court McGee fight, had a 5-fight losing streak. I think that those guys are a perfect example. And then you see it kind of bringing him back down to reality. And a guy like Max Griffin. Max Griffin's more so what I would call guys who are still definitely viable. And I think that not only like we just saw with the knockout over Kenan Song. For Max Griffin, but the Ramirez Brahimaj knockout. I mean, you got Max Griffin, a guy who's going to move around aggressively, side to side, looking to circle you, looking to kick you, looking to land, and he will freeze you with his movement, and then he will stun you with his punches. And if you're not ready for those punches, or you're not out of the way, you're going to end up like one of these guys that's going to get knocked out. I think to the best of the best, obviously we see him get a split decision loss to Alex Oliveira. I mean, but even nonetheless, I think there's a lot of good things to be said about Max Griffin in this fight. Sure, is there a lot of skill level that Carlos Condit has in this fight? I mean, both guys have these kind of even UFC career records, but I would have to take Max Griffin to win this fight all the way. I think he just has a little bit more pep in his step. I think he has a little bit more power at this point, a little bit more strength, and I think he'll be able to have a little bit more success with Carlos Condit.
Yeah, I think that. As you kind of said, it's not as favorable as matchup as Condit's last couple of fights have been. I think that chances are Griffin's going to be able to get this one. And you're good. Or what do they have the line here? Just on Tapology. Oh, they got Condit plus 150. Max Griffin minus 190. Yeah. I don't know. I probably won't be really touching anything too major in this fight. I think we could always really see we could see Conor definitely have a good performance and somehow squeak something out. It's not out of the realm possibility, but definitely pretty heavily in the favor of Max Griffin. He can still definitely chuck that heat. Definitely can hurt you, but Carlos Condit, he's definitely showing he's still here to fucking scrap. Definitely
absolutely.
Not ready to just roll over and retire. So, but yeah, I'm taking. I will be taking Max Griffin.
Oh, that's crazy, eh? Really, eh? Maybe this will be the first one, eh? To crack that chin.
What? Finish fucking Carlos Condit?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Bye, Carlos.
I don't know about that, bro. Now you're getting real fucking crazy.
Hasta la vista, Carlos. Max Payne by knockout. Picked it. Lock it in.
Okay. Sure.
Bantamweight bet at 135 pounds. My favorite part of the night. How many fights are even left after this? 1, 2. Oh, 5 fights left. We're fine. We're on time. We're on normal pace. We haven't fucking sped up at all. We're definitely on normal pace. Axene like 25 minutes out at the beginning though for us talking, but we're still on normal pace.
Whatever you said, Doc Vlog.
I'm Dr. Pace. That's what they call me. We got a bantamweight bet at 135 pounds between Sean O'Malley, 5'11 with a 72-inch reach, and Chris Montigno, 5'7 with a 70-inch reach. O'Malley, 6-1 in the UFC with a 13-1 MMA record, 9 knockouts, 1 submission. Montigno making his debut in the UFC on short notice with a 9-4 professional record, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. O'Malley coming off that KO win over Almeida, which we all watched. We remember Doug smoking the Almeida pack. I will never forget that. That had me fucking rolling on air. That was one of the funniest moments so far here, but it was just a fight in which Sean O'Malley was able to dominate Thomas Almeida, able to knock him down multiple times, able to use that range, kind of get back on pace, and kind of like we all predicted, look very good against Almeida and get the finish, which we all predicted. As far as in the Marlon Vera fight, we talked about this before. That's the knockout loss. The weird kind of drop leg scenario in which O'Malley took from the leg kicks. I mean, what are you gonna do? Finished in that position, then had the knockout win, almost a knockout of the year, in my opinion, over Eddie Wineland, which he was able to kind of set him up and get the finish. Montigno, I haven't done any research over him, so this is a kind of a guy I definitely do want to watch at least once or twice, for the only reason being, in case this guy does have the ability to maybe survive. I don't know, maybe. Is it possible? I don't really know. How many stoppage losses does Montigno have on his career, Dan?
4. All 4 of his losses have come via stoppage.
Be a actual like stoppage, like knockout or
2
something?
subs.
2 subs?
2 KOs.
Interesting. I'm definitely picking O'Malley in this fight, but I definitely think that O'Malley might be viable for one of those greasy subs.
I don't think he's going to force it if it comes to that. If he finds himself in that position, somehow finds himself on his back, he's got those legs and he throws them up, maybe, but I don't that's definitely not going to be his prerogative.
No, I agree. He'll look for something flash. He'll keep it on the hands and feet. I don't even think you're right. He probably wouldn't even go for a rear naked on the ground. Even if the guy was injured, he'd make him get up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't fucking win, especially like when you're given this kind of fight too. You want to at least get the highlight. Like, I'm not happy about it as a fan. Like, too, it's kind of like what is this now? We're in the business of bringing in guys that don't even sign to the company just for the sake of fighting them. Like, come on. After giving them a fucking easy ass fucking fight that's in fucking Smoka, who wasn't in the rankings, like, I know it's irrelevant to have for the rankings anyway, but like, I don't know. I'm not happy about it.
It's crazy. You shouldn't be happy about it, especially as a big fan of Sean O'Malley.
Yeah,
definitely doesn't. I know. Like, does it make you want to wear that T-shirt on the weekend?
This guy's fought Tony Grappley. Of course, we'll wear it. This guy's fought Tony Grappley though.
Beat or lost?
He lost.
What decision? Sub.
Finish in the 4th round. Actually, wait, what?
I might take this guy to go the distance. I'm thinking this guy's going to go. I think actually, you know what's going to be the narrative, and I've been thinking about it for a week.
Drop, bro.
No, this guy goes the distance, and then the narrative starts becoming O'Malley didn't even finish this fucking guy, this bum 2 weeks out, and then that's going to be the next O'Malley fucking hit piece. I can just see it happening.
O'Malley's going to put on a fucking show.
I mean,
he's done it to fucking way back. Like, yeah, we all picked him in the last fight, but it's a way harder fight. Like, and that's a guy that Thomas Almeida, who's got way more experience and has fought some of the toughest guys in the world. It's a way different level.
Agreed.
Sure, the fucking anomaly happened against Cheeto, but like, it's a different. Yeah, like sure the guy's lost to Tony Gravely in the 4th round, but like fucking if that's what I'm bringing up, like it's a different caliber of fighter. I think holy shit, what happened? There's been some fucking money moving. Last time I checked, O'Malley round 1 was at like 2.2 to 1. It's down to 1.7 now. So fuck.
I'm actually gonna sway everyone on this one.
I'm going second then. Fuck that. Now let's do every now. I can't even get double money. Fuck that. Let's go. We're going second, third, baby. Second, third round.
Let me see. I gotta check Mourinho.
Tell me that he's been finished in the fucking CES. Yeah, I'm fucking taking fucking O'Malley to finish him.
By Tony Gravely. Like, shut the fuck up.
Fucking Tony Gravely's not a fucking finisher. You shut the fuck up. Tell me to shut the fuck up. Ridiculous. I need to do the research. Research fucking minutes. Moutinho decision 13 to 1. Lose all the money you want.
I'm taking
like you'll be you
that's
pretty
a pretty
easily
good decision too.
You pretty easily took him against Thomas Almeida, a guy who's fought fucking. Did Almeida fight for the title or no? He got close. But yeah, O'Malley round 2 is the pick for me. Even though he could definitely finish in the first round, I think he could catch this cat. What would you say the size difference is? What are you looking at? Like you're not fucking. You're a Pixel O'Malley. You can fucking do all the mulling you want.
But it might be decision.
You can mull all whatever.
It might be O'Malley decision.
Yo, it's good. I like the 4% of the 4% who are taking Moutinho on Tapology. 61% are taking the KO TKO too. I like that.
How many people are taking O'Malley decision?
It isn't only 2. Oh wow! It is only a 2-inch reach advantage.
How many are people taking O'Malley decision?
3%. 1% myself. Just the KO TKO is 1.36 to 1.
I hear that.
Submission 11. Pat's just gonna his only bet will be like fucking Moutinho decision and like fucking O'Malley submission, and then he'll like fuck this fight.
That's exactly what I'm gonna say. This fight's bullshit. I don't even think it should still be on the card. They should have pulled it.
Didn't you preface it with like your favorite fight of the night? Is that what you said?
Preface it as saying fuck this
okay,
guy.
Okay, let's move on.
Fuck
then.
this 6'9".
You just stop looking at fucking. You can look at fucking.
Fuck this 6'9" hair colored fuck. You should have denied that fight.
You can look at Moutinho's fucking CES fights all day tomorrow and
I'm not looking at Moutinho's CES fights, fucker. I'm on the StreamYard right now.
No, but I'm saying tomorrow you can do that and report back on Saturday.
I might actually make.
Let me know what happened.
I might do a live
what
video.
It looks like
I might do a live video for anyone that's interested. Let me know what it looks. When my internet goes live, I'm doing a live stream of watching Chris Moutinho. We're gonna watch a couple of his fights if anyone wants to hop in.
Yeah, okay, but you let me know how it fucking looked when fucking. I don't care about Tony Gravely. Let me know when fucking. How it looked when Johnny Campbell, 17-12 at the time, laid his fucking elbow.
I actually think I watched that fight. To be honest.
No, we've just seen Johnny Campbell fight. You don't fucking.
I feel like we saw that fight though.
No, we saw fucking Henry Krause versus Johnny Campbell. You're just fucking on cat.
Okay, I'm going to the bantamweight bout at 135 pounds between Yana Kunitskaya, 5'6" with a 68.5-inch reach. He got Arina Aldane, 5'9" with a 68.5-inch reach as well. Kunitskaya 4-2 in the UFC with a 14-5 MMA record, 7 knockouts, 1 submission.
Is that the only 2 wins fights on the card?
Only 2 on the card. Aldana 5-4 in the UFC with a 12-6 MMA record, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. Kunitskaya, she's coming off that UD win over Ketlin Vieira, in which she was able to just kind of do the. I'm not even going to explain her last 3 fights because I have them all written down. We've gone over them before on the channel. I mean, the last two, the Stoliarenko and the Vieira fight, have been pretty much the same. She has good clinch control. She lands some good shots in the knees, and she just looks really strong in that clinch position. And she's just able to pretty much keep her dirty boxing going throughout the entire time. Good strikes in the clinch. She controls that wrist really well up against the fence, and even if the fight hits the mat, she's able to pretty much get back up. She's always dominating on these strike numbers and just able to put a good fight on her opponents up against the fence. She uses that physical body strength she's got to a lot to her advantage. She does have some positions where some submissions are possible, definitely in her game. That could be a problem for a girl like Irina Aldana. This is definitely going to be a hard fight to call for me, in my opinion. Aldana's coming off of a UD loss to Holly Holm, in which, Holly Holm just looked and put a beat down on her, just looked a lot better than she did. Was able to mix up the striking a lot better. Aldana's got some skills, but I don't think she's got the kind of skills that were dangerous enough to, pose a threat to Holly Holm at that point in time in her career. In this fight, I think it's definitely a hard one to pick. I think Kunitskaya's got a lot of the close kind of grappling clinch positions taken care of, but I do think that in like similar fights where we saw Kunitskaya find some strikers and fight some strikers a little bit, I think this fight might be Aldana's fight to take. I think this might be Aldana to take on points.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on this one. I think we have seen, obviously, as you said, Kunitskaya scrape out some solid decision victories, controlling in the clinch in the last couple fights. But I just think Aldana won't be controlled as easily, and will probably be able to have the better of the exchanges. And obviously, she's shown that finishing power previously, so I think she'll land the more impactful shots too. So I think, especially, it's pretty much a straight pick'em fight. We have Kunitskaya with being the slight underdog, but. Yeah, I think Aldana just probably straight, probably not even worth the decision, just in case she has got that finish previously. But yeah, could be worth the decision stab. Like, decision would be my pick, but probably not going to bet it, considering it's just pretty good value at the pick 'em odds. And I'll probably put it in a parlay.
Agreed.
Probably won't be playing it straight up.
Moving on to this, this heavyweight bout at 265 pounds between Tai Tuivasa, 6'2", with a 75-inch reach, 5-2 in the UFC with 11-3 MMA record, 10 knockouts, no submissions, taking on Greg Hardy, 6'5", with an 80.5-inch reach, 4-3-1 in the UFC with a 7-3 MMA record, 6 knockouts, no subs. He's coming off of a knockout loss to Marcin Tybura, in which Tybura pretty much was able to just weather the storm from Greg Hardy, not get finished, as Greg Hardy kind of gets into his own head a little bit, and then was able to wait till he gassed out, take him down, and then impose, and then just look for some short shots and able to finish that fight. The Maurice Green fight, I mean, Greg Hardy just looked good, was able to come in there and pretty much clobber Maurice Green and put him in a world of hurt pretty quickly. We didn't really think Maurice Green had a chance in that one anyways. Tai Tuivasa, he's coming off that knockout win over Harry Hunsucker, one of those fights which I would also agree that's a fight given to Tuivasa. I believe that fight was a short notice fight for Hunsucker, but I'm not 100% sure. The Stefan Struve fight, that was a good knockout win. I mean, Stefan Struve being the end of his career, that was, I believe, his retirement fight too. The Spivak fight, Spivak is kind of one of these guys who gives a lot of problems, kind of has that wrestling game, so he was able to kind of get Tuivasa in a position and submit him. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think this is a fight where you got two guys whose heavyweights are going to want to chuck knuckles, stand on the hands and feet, and really put a lot into it. Tai Tuivasa definitely has a little bit of a better record. I think that he's got a little bit better opponents on his career. In my opinion, honestly, in this one, I think because of the way that Greg Hardy lost his last fight, I actually think he comes back and wins this one. I think he comes back and wins this one, has a good fight. Both guys put on a good scrap. I think he ends up getting a decision victory in this one.
He was kind of winning that first round against Tybura too, but
he won the first round. He won the first round. He won.
Yeah, gassed himself out in the process too.
Yeah, because he went in there
ripped
thinking
down by Tybura and just fucking pounded out.
Yeah.
Made him look like a fucking child.
Yeah.
It
was my favorite.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Think that. Yeah, you were all over that. I think
awesome.
that.
I even picked it too. I even said it too. Hardy's gonna gas.
Probably right. That'll probably be able to rebound in this one. I think
100%.
We could see It'd be tough. I think he'll probably win the first round. Second one.
5.5 inches is a lot, Dan. It's a lot.
Yeah, well, fucking, it's not as much when you're fucking gas pissed hard. You don't have your fucking inhaler to get your steroids.
EPO factory.
But I think that pretty much I could say could be a decision. You pretty much, I'd say Hardy's probably got the first round, and Tuivasa is gonna have the third round. So who's winning the second? That's pretty much what it's gonna come down to. And probably be Hardy because he'll have slightly better cardio than last time.
And he'll have the motherfucking reach. I'm telling you, it's gonna be massive. That's gonna
Hardy
be
on
massive.
4-1.
I'm taking it. That's it. Lock it down.
I think he'll probably use a little bit of wrestling too. Probably use some clinch work, try and just
100%.
charge him up against the fence, and but he'll gas. We'll be fucking gassed.
But I think, both guys will realistically.
I might even fucking lay a little cash on Tuivasa third round in case.
Could.
At 11-1.
I just don't see that happening again, man. It was so rare with Tybura just because Tybura's fucking game plan just perfectly fits fucking beating.
He gassed so previously though.
Not as hard though. Not as hard. Not like that.
Yeah.
He really did. In my mind, he was really self-absorbed after the Maurice Green knockout win. He was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like I was like, "Bro, like let's calm down a little bit here."
Fucking full himself. So.
Oh, but I know that's what he is. But right, like I think this fight he'll get back. He knows he has to get back. I don't think he'll go out there and be like, "Oh, I'll just fucking knock the block off this guy too."
As a slight underdog too.
Oh, really beautiful. Lock it down.
2.1 to 1.
Beautiful. This is going to be a
beautiful. I'm not a fan of the guy, but yeah,
I'm pretty confident that he's going to come out there and look good. If he doesn't, fuck him. We got a welterweight bout next at 170 pounds between Gilbert Burns, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach, and Stephen Thompson.
Either way, I wouldn't mind to see him get knocked out either.
I love watching him get knocked out, but not when I'm not picking him. Between Gilbert Burns, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach, and Stephen Thompson, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach.
It should be like, why don't we have this one as a fucking 5-round co-main?
I don't know.
Why is this just for Diaz? Like, fuck off.
I don't know. It's their fucking dumb rule.
And this would be a good fiver, no?
Of course it would be. I don't think that.
Especially, but everybody else is being get to Conor. All the casual ones just say, we want Conor.
Some shit like that, yeah. But Burns, 12-3 in the UFC with a 19-3 MMA record, 6 knockouts, 8 submissions. Thompson, 11-4 in the UFC, 16-4-1 in his MMA career, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. Burns, he's coming off that he's coming off that knockout loss to, of course, the champ himself, Kamaru Usman. I mean, looked amazing in that fight. We covered that one live. Obviously, I had been kind of rolling on the Burns train a little bit before that one, thinking he would have been maybe the guy to pose some problems. Looked early on like it was going to be a good fight, but we just saw Kamaru Usman with that devastating jab and was just able to put that pressure on him the entire fight. I think what showed in that fight was Gilbert Burns not understanding boxing and not having the range as well, because I just don't think there's certain limitations to certain people, especially with certain styles and stuff like that. I felt like Kamaru was able to pump that jab, use that reach advantage perfectly. I think that in the Tyron Woodley fight, we obviously saw Gilbert Burns have a little bit more advantage with the shoot with the hands and was able to cut Woodley early, almost finish him. And then obviously in the Maia fight, able to get the finish. Stephen Thompson, on the other hand, he's coming off that UD win to Geoff Neal, in which he was able to pretty much hit Geoff Neal, move, stay away from those big power shots, and skate to a UD win. And that was a really good fight. As far as the Vicente Luque fight, he was able to get a UD win over Vicente as well. Kind of doing exactly the same thing, kind of just staying out of the danger zone, out of the red zone, and just staying in the areas where he is good, which is on his feet, using his kicks, using his range, firing shots off angles and off movement and leading you into shots. I just see in this fight Stephen Thompson having a lot of success. I think that Gilbert Burns definitely, nonetheless, is definitely a verified guy. He's definitely where he should be and he is where he is for a reason. But I just think that Gilbert Burns at the welterweight division, I think his height and his reach, I think that his boxing needs to kind of up its game a little bit. I think I just think that there's certain aspects to the way he likes to fight that aren't going to make him successful against a guy like Stephen Thompson. I think his ability to want to try and walk you straight down the line and try and use a jab and try and maybe disguise a couple hooks in there, maybe work the body a little bit, then maybe shoot a takedown. I just don't think that something like that's going to work against Stephen Thompson. I think that the way defensively that Gilbert Burns accepts shots, I don't think that it's going to work against Stephen Thompson. I think that Stephen Thompson will read a lot of those, and we're going to see a lot of those kind of sneaky Stephen Thompson shots throughout the night, on angle, on movement. Stephen Thompson with a UD win in this fight.
Yeah, we were kind of talking on this a bit before we went live earlier, and yeah, it's just a fight where I just struggle to find a path to victory for Gilbert Burns. It's a tough ass matchup. It's literally, I'd say, the toughest matchup for anybody in the welterweight division, including the champion right now. He definitely doesn't want it because he has that combination of that style where it's just pretty much impossible to really compete with him on the hands and feet, considering the pedigree that he has, and he's established some hell of a good takedown defense around it. It's kind of in some ways a beautiful and perfect styles, but and it's a classic matchup too. It's the karate versus jiu-jitsu matchup. It's as old as UFC itself. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to take a shot, especially it's some good value at plus 130, but yeah, I just think Stephen Thompson, like he could land something solid on him and finish him, but I don't think it's likely, especially only over 15 minutes. I think part of most of the reason that Kamaru was able to stop him, obviously we've seen Kamaru develop his power a little bit recently, but also like it was just Gilbert Burns getting a bit too overzealous and putting himself in a too dangerous of a position because he got kind of in a bit of a frenzy after hurting the champ. Yeah, like it's possible. Like if he, I just don't think he's that unpolished enough of a striker to do like what a Tyron Woodley did, but especially in three rounds, like it's gonna be a close. Like it could be a close decision, especially like he may not even take him to the ground. He may just work him against the fence. Just use power.
That's another good question.
It is only
15
right? minutes.
It's only 15 minutes. That's a good point, Dan. Very good point. When was the last time Stephen Thompson even fought a 15-minute fight?
Vicente.
Oh, was it Vicente?
Pretty sure that was only 15. That wouldn't be a man. Vicente's never fought a man event. I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think Stephen Thompson, he's hungry too. Like it's not like one of these guys where he's thinking he's in the twilight of his career and he's just looking to still get some fights in. Like he's very much so thinks himself as that future challenger. He thinks he as I verbalized, he's the toughest challenge for the current champ. Like if he does get that opportunity, if he gives the UFC no other option but to book that fight, he's the only guy left up there after Leon loses, which you think he probably will. He's got to win this one.
Yeah.
If he wins this one, nobody else wants to fight him. Colby's not going to fight him. So if he wins this fight, it's not going to most likely be in emphatic fashion. But I'd say he'd probably put himself in a position to challenge for the strap.
Absolutely.
Right next after Leon.
Yep.
But yeah, Stephen Thompson decision. Long way of saying it. There's always a chance. Could be worth the.
I might actually have to hedge this though. I'm thinking about it. The more I'm thinking about it now about Gilbert.
Last time he fought a specialist, he just power bombed him with a right hand. So
exactly.
David might have a different type of specialist.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, I just think Stephen Thompson's just he's way in this fight. Like obviously people can have off days, but he's looked great as of late too. Like I think especially he took a lot away from that whole the resurgence of Masvidal. The fact that he beat Masvidal before he kind of went off on that like to that reality show and all that stuff, and then before he had his resurgence then he was fighting for the title. Like that's a crazy thing to witness as a guy that consider like I fucking beat that guy. Like he is better in pretty much at every facet. He's a better mixed martial artist. So, that can light a fire under yourself. So,
no, that's a good point. I like
it's
that.
It's not an easy road, but Stephen Thompson. I think he could potentially even put on a clinic. I think no matter the heart of Gilbert Burns.
No, I agreed. I think he could definitely put on a clinic. It could be some scary hours. Now on to the main event, on to the final, the one we're all here for, the rematch, the final, hopefully the final piece of the series.
One of the most infamous lives in the history, and probably like predictions and all of that of this channel. I'd say for sure.
That's why on Saturday this is a message to all the boys that watch it back. I want full guns out on Saturday. Obviously not actual guns, all the boys. I want J Blues. I mean, obviously maybe
LJ's not here.
Doug. Yeah, we need LJ. He definitely better get his ass here, LJ. If you're fucking watching this, better have you here on Saturday. Clear your night out, your schedule out for that. We got the lightweight better at 155 pounds. We got Dustin Poirier, 5'9" with a 73-inch reach, taking on Conor. I don't even have their careers in here. We're just gonna go over these guys. It doesn't even matter. We did the exact same thing last time. We went through it kind of like through the exact same thing. They both fought each other last time. It was not more than 5 months ago on this exact channel. We broke this fight down going into it. I think it was 5 months ago. We talked about it, and I mean it was kind of one of those ones where
pretty much 6. It's like a full 6 months.
Yeah, like a full 6
by fight night.
And we really did think that. In my opinion, I honestly thought that I think Conor McGregor had started to lack some skills. I think there had definitely been some holes in his game, and I think that Dustin Poirier had definitely matured into the fighter that he is today, who's able to not only have good hands and power for his size, but bring that well-rounded skill set into a lot of these fights, allowing himself to kind of employ this, what do I need to use against this guy, and what do I need to do, and I usually do think that there really is going to be a difference once again in this fight. I think that lightweight Dustin Poirier, I don't think Conor McGregor has a way of finishing him in this fight. I don't think as many insults, as many things he wants to say. I think at the end of the night he's going to be saying Dustin's a better fighter at this point, and Dustin's definitely has hats off to Dustin. He's definitely done what he's had to do at the end of his career to get himself here. I think Conor McGregor definitely has some facets. I think that he always talks it up, but I love to see the veneers. Like, put the veneers on right before the big fight. Get the new veneers all in. I've said it already before, the Irishman's going to be pulling plastic out of his ass fucking Sunday morning. Dustin Poirier to win. I see this as the thing. I think it's either going to be a third round knockout, or I think it actually has the chance in this one to go the distance. Call me crazy.
I also love the third round.
But I also think it has that chance.
There's something poetic to first round finish in the first fight, second round finish in the second, third round finish in the third.
Yeah, but I'm taking Dustin Poirier. I don't know if he did. I think he has the ability for sure to finish him, just like he did in the last fight.
Especially I'll be laying chalk 3, 4, 5, maybe even 2 as well.
I could see Conor playing a big old puss game in this one, not wanting to get finished and not leaving the legacy at least with that on it.
I don't think no matter what Conor does, no matter the training camp he doesn't have 25-minute cardio. He doesn't have 5-round cardio. No. He only and if he is not fresh and he's in front of a Dustin Poirier who's breathing fucking oxygen,
yeah,
he'll fucking try and put his lights out and if he's gassed, I think he will. No, I just think right. Like Dustin Poirier, because we've covered many times. Like Dustin Poirier is just too much of a killer at this weight.
Oh, he's way too good for Conor. I don't think Conor's
too big of a guy. He's not a good matchup. Conor, I think he's given up. He's definitely given up the mental edge. Can't just fucking switch back to fucking tough guy mode. This isn't fucking WWE. Especially once a guy's literally just. And it was great. Obviously, we didn't really touch about it at the beginning. I thought, we obviously had the press conference earlier this evening. One of my favorite moments is a reporter asked, Conor, so you've definitely seemed to switch up like your demeanor before this fight, and before Conor even had a chance to answer, Poirier picks up the mic and just says, because he got fucking slapped. And then Conor literally was speechless. And then he's like, it was great out his line after. He's like, McGregor fast. He's like, more like McGregor sleep.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good shit, man.
It just made me think of that one photo with him with like
I've seen it
hands by his head
times.
with the pillow. It's great. Just makes me think of D throwing that up on the stream. But yeah, no, I think I think there is a lot to the fact that Conor McGregor in a lot of his like he does beat people not only physically but mentally. Like a lot of his major wins, he has gotten the head of his opponent. But not only obviously in the first fight against Dustin Poirier, but in the Aldo fight, in the Alvarez fight, countless other fights as well, I'm sure. But like the combination of it's only been 6 months.
And I don't think
fighting
it's been
a guy
turnaround. Yeah.
Who's more active, who's been fighting more killers more recently.
Who's bigger, more developed now.
Who has better cardio.
He picked on the wrong rematch. He picked on the
Like,
wrong fucking guy to rematch.
It may be tougher for probably Poirier to maybe even make 155, but like it's because he's a fucking big ass motherfucker. Like,
oh, he's thick now.
Part of the reason why he got finished, like he got fucking clipped with some pretty solid shots. Like we could see some bullshit too. Like we could see a split decision. Like if it goes to the cards, like I could definitely see Conor putting on a really strong first 3 rounds and just surviving the last 2, not getting finished. Could happen.
Yep. Like, that's why I kind of see some weird decision shit in the back of my head. That.
Like if you
I see him really doing this whole survival, but I just see him wanting to.
But like, let's be honest. I think we both Conor won that first round.
Yes,
despite the takedown, a brief takedown.
I said Poirier, it live. He won that first round. Yes.
So I think Conor will probably win the first round again. Maybe even the second, but like I don't think there's a chance in hell if there's the 4th and 5th round that he wins those. I don't think it's possible. Seeing what I've seen from Dustin Poirier, the heart, I don't know. But on the flip side, like you can't also say that the fact like Conor with a full crowd, you can't say that's not a different factor too. Like it's a whole different and sure he had a crowd before, but like you can tell and like. Poirier is admitted he's a different mentality. He's very much so does this as a job. It's less of a like McGregor is more than like you can't deny now. This guy loves to fight. Guys, it's in his fucking DNA. Nobody else would be doing it at this point. Fucking financially, like there's literally absolutely zero rhyme or reason to. He's literally only putting himself, which he already kind of has, in a position to hurt his reputation and his financial future if he wins 25. No, not really, obviously. Like, I think he's kind of built himself I don't know, an irreputable or an unbreakable kind of brand and one of those things, kind of like a Diaz figure in that kind of sense. But no matter the else, but if he gets fucking slapped again, who knows?
Could be
it's
over.
Not
the career could be.
And I think it's if he gives himself that mentality and that combined, like I think it's no doubt like it is obviously a lot of posturing, but it's no different. It's definitely a different cat.
100%.
I think there is something definitely to that. There's always something to activity. The fact that he's gone from fighting fucking Donald Cerrone and fighting Dustin Poirier, 2 different fucking animals.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
It's literally like a tune-up fight to a fucking championship fight in boxing.
Exactly.
If there ever was one in MMA. So
I don't know, man.
It's going to be a different cat out there. McGregor's going to be, especially like not having the family. It's all like he's one of those things. Like there's few people in this sport that make me literally try and deny the logic in my brain because I fully have convinced myself that Poirier is going to win this fight. But it's just there is the McGregor factor. Like as much as I'm not even that much of a fan of this guy, he can do this. He can shock fucking everybody. He can in the first couple rounds. Like he. I think he. I don't think he's not gonna go out there. He's not gonna. I don't see him stop just starting him in the first. Well, because the first fight he also kind of like it was a weird shot that kind of hit him on the back of that. I don't ever really see that happening. It would have to be like he would like have to hurt him and like hit him with like a nice fucking chain of like probably like 4 or 5 shots that end with like a fucking uppercut or like a fucking hook that just drops him. We have fucking Herb Dean fucking around with some shit too, and like because that's like one of the first times I've seen too. We've already seen like I've seen that Herb's the ref, and I'm just like fuck this, like fuck, like God, flying Goddard, like come on. Even though I don't think Conor likes Goddard actually.
Goddard was doing CES last weekend.
Yeah, Goddard, she just likes chilling in the UK, but
he was
all this aside. I think at even money, you got to take Poirier. You got to take Poirier in the fucking biggest fight of his life. Give himself this chance.
Absolutely.
Fucking change his financial future and everything. Change his fucking legacy. So yeah, I'm all aboard.
Shut the door on this fucking chapter with McGregor.
I like what Pat was saying. I like third round. I like 4 and 5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Third round's 11-1.
Beautiful.
The decision's 5.5.
Dusty P.
What's the split? It's greasy Dusty split. 13. Dusty P head. Let's roll.
Dusty P.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see on Saturday. But
yeah, kind of ran through everything. We'll see
how much
everyone
we're
on
going
Saturday.
short. I think it's literally impossible. We just fucking ramble.
Well, I think it is impossible. Though. We go through a lot of shit. Really, everybody, we appreciate you guys coming out. I mean, it's been a good time. We've kind of ran through everything. We got 5 people watching now. It's been awesome. Had a pretty good amount of people watching the entire night. I am gonna try and timestamp the video tomorrow once fucking Coach Go comes in at about 8 o'clock or between 8 and noon tomorrow and comes in and fixes my goddamn internet. Hopefully they can. If not, with the internet not being so bad here, might even be doing it here on Saturday. So look out, catch out for me. Look out for me. We will be summing it up. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. It's been awesome. Dan, thank you once again, as per usual. It was a good one. We kind of made it work. That kind of tends to happen, but might have been in the choice that the picks weren't not tons of research went into this week. So honestly, all in all, thank you everybody. Thank you for coming out to watch Fight Guys. Appreciate it. Come to the channel this weekend on Saturday. We'll be doing our full UFC 264 breakdown. Our full UFC 264 fight coverage with obviously a little bit of tidbit of breakdown before. We'll be doing that little bit of bet breakdown.
Throwing out some of the best live props in the game.
Yeah, some of the best live props in the game for sure. We're going to have all the hitters on the channel. We appreciate it, everybody. It's been great. Thank you, everybody. I'm signing out. Appreciate it.